Greetings and welcome to Atlanta's Jazz, Soul, and Blues live on Streets 989 Atlanta TV, streaming at Platinum Media Network, a global network, the number one stream sharing the lives of extraordinary leaders through true life experiences. I'm your host, the First Lady, MC Jazzy. Today we welcome R&B soul singer, songwriter, and multifaceted musician Chris Crain, a Luberton, Mississippi native who currently resides in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area. Let's welcome him to the studio this evening. Hi,
Hey,
Chris.
hey,
How are you?
I am good. How about yourself?
We're fine. How are you doing tonight? Welcome and thank you so much for joining us on Streets 989 Atlanta TV. I was so honored when you agreed to come on. So let's dive in and let's get started.
Great, great. Well, it's good to be here. So let's make it happen.
Awesome, awesome. We're going to back up and play that They Say shortly, but let's get a little bit more information about who you are as an artist and as an entertainer. Chris, what happened to you in your life that motivated you to become the singer, songwriter, and musician that you are today?
Well, one or two things, right? I was born into a family of musicians. My mother played, my older brother played, my middle brother played saxophone, and so my mother made sure that we all was doing something musically.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so that was, the foundation of it. We, of course, started out in church. But the person that I've become, the artist, the way that I write, the way that I present my music was catapulted by my birth defect that I was born with. And that it made me have to learn to be strong and have to learn how to, I had to teach myself to be confident. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's displayed in all of my music. It's either inspiring, some people call it arrogant, but it's strong music, and so
Well, I
that's
think
where it
it's
comes from.
music that shares unity, love, and a beautiful experience with your audience. Your tracks are just, they're so profound and so touching emotionally. So I can understand. But when you spoke about your disability, share with us a little bit about how that maneuvered your career to where you are. Because had it not been for that, you may have went a different route.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I wanted to be an athlete, of course, and but because of my arm, it prohibited me from going to that next level. Now I played sports and all of that, in high school, and wasn't too bad. But again, because of disability, it just didn't let me go to that next level.
Hmm.
But music was the thing that I gravitated to. And again, it gave me the ability, it helped me to be able to express my emotions because of me being different. Um, you ended up with songs like They Say that we're going to listen to a little bit later. And if you listen to the words, a lot of times I had to remind myself that you're beautiful and what you have is enough. And in spite of all the things I've accomplished, I still would, again, have to tell myself that. And so I wanted to encourage other people because, you may not have a disability or a birth defect like I was born with, but you may think you're too fat or too skinny or you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whatever your ailment or your thoughts of yourself are that hinders your self-esteem, I wanted this song to be that thing to encourage you to keep pushing past that.
Well, when I heard it, Chris, I honestly thought that since it was during the uprise of the death of George Floyd, that it was also trying to share with us how important it is to, respect other people and to
Yeah,
accept other people as they are.
yeah, yeah.
Was
You're
that
right.
not
You're right.
a message as well in that track?
Yes. Yeah, and there's a line like right at the end where it says, "Now is the time for us to come together to stand for
Yes.
what we believe." And
Yes.
in the video, you'll see the Black Lives Matter, um, the colors and the words that go across the bottom. Because that's, I'm a black man, so I'm definitely pro black. Now that doesn't mean I'm anti anything, but at the end of the day, we are who we are, and so we have to stand up, let our voices be heard, and
Well, we
stand
don't love
together.
our own self. Who will?
You're right, one hundred
I
percent.
mean, everyone else love themselves. Every
Yeah,
other race love themselves. What is
yeah, you're
wrong with
right, 100.
Black Americans loving one another? But
Yeah,
we
I
still
agree.
need to be unified as a
Yep,
people. And that's what I thought that was a very important aspect of the track. Let's check it out. Let's check out They Say right quick.
cool. Let's get into it.
Okay. Got a little bit of a delay.
They say what I am is unacceptable. They say only perfection's beautiful. But the truth is, beauty is found in everyone. I am beautiful, you are beautiful. They say people should love one certain way. They say people should all be the same today. But the truth is, people should be more accepting, yeah. Learn to love someone, lend a helping hand. They just don't listen to what they have to say. Too much vanity in the world today. Find your own path, go your own way. You are beautiful, I am beautiful. Now is the time to come together, to stand for what we believe.
I don't like the way that was streaming. I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
try
it
that
was.
on another. Wait, hold on. I didn't like the way that was streaming. It was like it was a delay. The music was fine, but it was
Yeah.
like the video was hesitant. Hold on, let's see if we can get that back up.
I am beautiful, you are beautiful. They say what I am is unacceptable. They say only perfection's beautiful. But the truth is, beauty is found in everyone. I am beautiful, you are beautiful. They say people should love one certain way. They say
Wow. That's an amazing track.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I love it.
I
I
love
love
it
it.
also. I really do. I like I say, I hear that many people indicate that you use your music to bring about change in every note, in every lyric, in every rhythm. Share with us a little bit about how you came about to compose that track.
So I have a foundation called a Better Project Awareness Foundation, and it's called that. I took that line from a Jay-Z lyric. He said, "You call it a project because it's a project." And I looked at our community and some of the things that was happening, and so I wanted to be a contributor into making it better. And so I started this foundation. And one of the things that I do, we use music as a platform. So every instrument that I learn to play, we sponsor these camps, and we teach every instrument that I play. But this particular record, I was at a school, and I go into the school systems and do work with kids, and I do these songwriters classes.
Hmm.
And where I'm teaching them, I combine songwriting and creative writing together, and I combine it with the curriculum, the English curriculum, so they can utilize all of those facets of it. But this particular school, I was on the South Side, the Hispanic community, and so we needed to write something. So I put some words out on the screen, and we just started talking about self-esteem and loving each other. And so I wrote this song in class with my students, and it was about an hour exercise. And from that, I took it. I went home, went to the studio, started laying down the tracks, and started to score the orchestrations. Then I called my buddy down in Nashville, said I need live strings on this song. And before we know it, we had all of the music together, got in the studio, and recorded this record. Now, this record, this is the radio edit, but
Hmm.
there's another version of this song with a Spanish verse on there. Um,
Yes, that's what's
yes,
playing on the internet on the
yes,
iHeart.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, yes, yes. So that one, and I'm working on. So I have a French and German version that's been recorded. We
awesome.
shot the video for that maybe last summer. So we're doing that editing. And then there's also an Indian version with 5 different Indian languages within that one version that I'm still editing. And, so we're going to be releasing that soon as well, because I believe this song is a huge song and it needs to be able to touch
Yes, the
everybody.
world, the
Yes,
world.
yes. And so, the best way to do that is to put the song in many different languages so that it can actually touch the world. And
Yes.
this Indian project that's been really fun because I'm learning different languages and learning different cultures. And, some of the English words don't translate into Hindu or some of the
Mhm.
other languages. So I've been working with some of my friends from those different cultures, and we've translated, and so it's just this is a big song. And once this whole project is complete, then I think we will touch the world. We'll touch a lot of people again. The goal is to encourage. You know, yeah. So
Chris, with over 20 years in the music industry, when asked about your style and your melody while you're performing, what is your response?
I'm a big ball of everything. Again, you start out in church, but I fell in love with blues. My dad would listen to blues, Bobby Rush, Bobby Blue Bland.
Hmm.
So I'm a big fan of the blues, like the real blues, not the Southern soul. I love that as well, but this is where I cut my teeth on the blues sound. So from gospel to blues, then as I got older,
Jazz.
early 20s, I moved into jazz, and I fell in love with Herbie Hancock and
Oh
Chick
yeah.
and and some of these other Joe Sample and George Duke, just name a few people that I studied and really um, learned how to play their music and to speak their language. And so from there, I went. I love country. I love Zydeco.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
even hip hop. I
Just
produce
music
tracks,
in
just
general.
music, and it's a language that once you learn how to speak the language, once you learn ABCs of music, you can speak
Uh-huh.
any of the language, and it just does something to me. And so when asked that question, like I said, I'm just a big ball of everything. And one of the things that I really try to do is when I'm playing R&B, my R&B sounds like R&B. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
playing blues, it sounds like blues. It don't
Mm-hmm.
sound like a jazzy blues or a gospel
Right.
blues or a country. It's blues. So there's certain chord structures that you play. So I study. I'm a student of music, and so that's the beauty of understanding this language. Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Tell us a little bit more about the camps and concerts that you are doing, as well as the 500 men march that you held in 2015.
So yeah. So I like I said before, I want to be an active member of the community. I always believe that you can't expect people who don't live in your community to care about it and to fix and to work on things more than the people that live in that community. So I said, I'm going to be an active participant. And so the 500-man march was something that I felt led to do. There was an 86-year-old lady who got sexually assaulted on one of the blocks up here, and nobody was doing that. There was no outrage, and that's a problem for me. I'm from Mississippi. I'm a Southern boy, and so that bothered me. So I said the reason why criminals do what they want to do is because men aren't present. So I said, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna rally as many men as I can, and we're gonna walk the streets, and we're gonna be present. No longer will we just go to work, to church, to wherever, and back home. They need to see us out there. And so I pulled that together, and it went well. The Camps and Concerts is a program that my foundation wrote that we rolled out. We was really going to roll it out in 2022, but I got a push from a friend of mine. She works for the Office of Violence Prevention here in the city, and she was kind of pushing me to go ahead and do something this year. And so I decided to go ahead and roll it out this year. But what it is simply, it's a combination of my music camps and the concerts. So real quick, I host these every summer. These camps called First Class Music Camps, where again, like I said, we teach every instrument that I learned to play, from songwriting to all of those things. Inside of that, we talk about anger management, all of these things with kids ages 6 through 16. Now, this camp is free, so
Mm-hmm.
the way I pay for it, I would do these things called Make a Difference concerts. I will host my own concerts, bring in artists, I'll perform, and we will sell tickets. And that would give me, I raise enough money to pay for materials, to bring in some of the best instructors, to rent instruments, to bring in instrument demonstrators, to pay for lunches, all of those things. And so with COVID happening, I had to condense it, because my camps are normally a week, Monday through Friday. But this time I wanted to start doing something a little bit smaller. So I turned them into day camps. So the camps and concerts, we do a camp, but we have three mini concerts within the day camp. So they're like 15, 20-minute concerts where I bring in artists to perform or instrument demonstrators to demonstrate the guitars or keyboards or vocals or whatever. And so the kids, they get to go to class, and then we do our assembly, and we do a concert, mini concert. So
Awesome,
that's where the camps and concerts theme came from. Yeah.
awesome. So, what is Soul Unplugged?
Soul Unplugged is it's an
Feel
event.
good music.
It's feel good music. It's an event that this guy here in Milwaukee, Kwabena Antoine Nixon, he hosts it every year. And this year they tried to get me to perform last year. I wasn't available. This year I was. I was in town, and I said, "Yeah, man, please put me on." It's a great time where we get on the porch, and people come bringing the lawn chairs. Just an amazing night of blackness, community, and culture. And and it's fun for me because sometimes there's people who don't. I only do my own music. First off, every so often I throw in a cover. But when you book Chris Crain, you come to a Chris Crain show. My goal is to make you love my music, and so we go in, we kill a show, and after that first and second song, everybody's rocking and singing and moving around. To me, and they're listening to music they've never heard before. So it was a good
Awesome.
time. Definitely
Salute
a
to
good time.
you. Thank you for all that you're doing in the Milwaukee and in the worldwide music industry. You're making some amazing things, making music with several different languages, reaching kids, supporting the elderly. You're just phenomenal. Continue to be the extraordinary individual that you are. When you think over your life, has there been anyone that has inspired you or that you would like to give a shout out this evening?
I've had a lot of inspiration. I've had a lot of help. Some people that come in mind. I was just in Indiana this last few days. Had my brother passed away, so we had to do his
Condolences.
service. Thank you. But there's a man. His name is James Hamler, and he's also from Mississippi. But
Hmm.
when I was 14, 15, I was a troublemaker. I was that kid in the neighborhood. And once I met him musically, he was on such a different level. And he took the time to put me under his wing and cultivate me and to show me things. His name is James Hamler. And so I'm also working on a documentary right now called Beautiful You, Beautiful Me, the story of my life. And so
Oh,
we shot some video footage with him while I was in town. But he shared a lot of information with me. He also took me around the country with him. At 15 years old, I traveled and toured with his group as their drummer, and they was all over the place. The Voices of
how many
Deliverance,
instruments do you play?
um, drums, guitar, keyboards, bass guitar, a little bit of trumpet, um, and I'm getting ready to buy a violin. So because I'm a producer, um, you know, you, I like authentic sounds. I have all of the software and all of that stuff, but sometimes you can't beat a good acoustic guitar sound
Oh
from
no.
the guitar, not from the
Yeah,
keyboard, or from the
right.
computer, but you can't beat that sound. And so there's some things that I got xylophones and percussion, and I just enjoy all of those instruments. So I play a few instruments.
Any up and coming events that you would like to share with the audience? We know you're headed to the Soul and Blues Fest in Waynesboro, Mississippi. You're
Yeah.
headed to the Black Art Milwaukee event that you're putting on yourself
Yes.
in late September, and you're also heading to Buffalo, New York. So, share with us a little bit about all of this that you have going on.
So, well, if everything goes well, I'll be in Mississippi, my home state, around my hometown on this Saturday. The show is on Sunday. And so we're going to see how that goes. I'm supposed to fly into New Orleans. So fingers crossed right now. My flights have been, Delta has suspended all their flights until
Is there
tomorrow.
not another place you can fly into?
It is. I'm going to check in on that tomorrow to see
Maybe
how we can.
Memphis or somewhere?
Well, it's going to be Jackson would be
Oh,
where I would try
Jackson.
to,
Okay.
yeah, fly into Jackson because then I can get out of Jackson. Um,
Okay.
I'm not interested in flying into New Orleans. So it's
I
just a
wouldn't
lot
be,
going
not
on.
right now. You can't get a rental car.
You can't at all, at all. So
There are none are available.
yeah, yeah. So we're gonna figure that stuff out. We got a couple days to work it out. After that, I'm here. I produced a show, production called "Beautiful You, Beautiful Me," and it's my production. I won't be performing on this one, but I like to write the scripts and I like to drive the bus, if that makes
I
sense.
know, keep it flowing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's just another side of me. I promised myself that I wouldn't neglect all of the facets of who I am. And sometimes we can get caught up into driving in one direction that we forget to go to all of the other places that we're made of. And so I promised myself that I wouldn't do that anymore. And so I'm writing screenplays, all of these things that are in my head, just getting them out and creating the opportunities to display them. And so I'm not waiting on people to come and hire me and book me. I'm renting out the theaters myself and selling the tickets and doing it on my own. And I've been
Awesome.
pretty successful at it.
I think
After
that's what
that,
you need to do.
yeah,
Really.
yeah,
Yeah, if you really
yeah,
want to make things happen for yourself. So,
yeah,
Chris, let's talk a little bit briefly before we let you go about, the impact that 2020 pandemic COVID-19 has had on your life. I know we don't have to talk about the music aspect, but just on a personal, all of us has had to adjust on every facet of our life
yeah.
since the pandemic has come. Can you share anything that would inspire someone that may think that they're in a worse situation than anyone else?
Well, we all lost a ton of money, lost work. I had a tour. I started my own booking company in 2019 because I was having a hard time getting companies to pick me up or getting somebody to put me on. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it myself. And I had I was doing a tour. My first show was in Philadelphia and at the City Winery. My first booking from my own company, and of course, COVID shut that completely down. And so that that had me down. But you know what ended up happening for me, it slowed the world down. And I went back in the studio and I
Mhm.
recorded an album called Glow. And it's probably some of my best work. I got active. I started studying and looking at what everybody else was doing and trying to figure out how can I get up to speed? How can I use this time of shutdown that everybody's sitting down? How can I get on the even playing field? And I was able to cover some ground and to really do some soul searching, and to really figure some things out. And I encourage, for me, I encountered a lot of people who felt the same way. And I was able to tell them, yo, use this time to figure some stuff out. Use this time to build your repertoire.
Yeah,
Repertoire.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
don't
yes.
just be sitting around pouting. Everybody's shut down.
Right.
Nobody's working. Now, what I did, I started a new company in January of 2020 called Charlie's Music Factory. And it's a full service production company that allows artists, where I help artists turn their musical ideas into tangible product
Mm-hmm.
um, at a reasonable price, um, and they can get full service production and make monthly payments. And I serviced about 15 artists, so the money didn't stop for me. I just wasn't performing,
No,
and
you found another way, another
oh
mechanism
yeah, we have
to
to.
still keep your mindset going and your production.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I
that
had to.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah, and the good
amazing.
thing for me, I do all of my own production. So when you hear these records, that's me. You hear the drums, that's me. You hear the bass guitar, that's Chris Crain, keys, all of that. Do all my vocal, the mixing and the editing and the mastering, that's me. And so
Awesome.
I was able to provide that for other people, and and so I was able to do this Glow album in a matter of a few months. Just get down and write. So I was that helped me stay sane. You know, and then I
Awesome.
got two little kids that kept me moving as well.
Good, good. Any up and coming new releases that we can expect?
You know, I'm working on a record right now. I actually released one this year, but because Madam Queen took off and took a turn, I haven't promoted this record yet. But this record is called Scream, and I wrote this record. I had a friend, close friend, that passed away in December of 2020, and in January I was just having a tough day, so I went to a hotel and took my guitar and took a nap and started writing. And I
Mhm.
wrote this song Scream in about 45 minutes and then came back to the studio and started recording it. And so I'm going to really start pushing that at some point, but I'm working on a new album right now. And again, it's just because I can do pretty much everything myself. I'm constantly writing
Awesome.
and recording. I did a record with a lady named Marva King. If you haven't heard of her, check her out.
Mm-hmm.
She's amazing. She's a single Prince, and
Mm-hmm.
she's done backgrounds for Stevie. So
Mm-hmm.
that record is done. Um, just I don't know when I'm going to release it yet, but whenever Madam Queen stop moving around, then I'll
Well,
start
she
really.
moving because she's a bad girl. That's a bad
Yeah.
track. I love this track. We're gonna exit with Madam Queen this evening. Anything that you would like to share about this track before we say good night?
Well, Madam Queen is an amazing track that's filled with true stories. Um, and all of my music, it's they're true stories. This song, Madam Queen, I wrote it while I was cutting my grass, and I heard the melody, and so I stopped and took out my phone and started singing what I heard in my head. I write a lot of songs, behind the noise is what I call it. It helps me hear clearer. But there's also, I also have the Madam Queen T-shirt line that's out, and you can find those T-shirts on my website. Got some new colors coming out, some new designs, and I'm also working with a mixologist right now and a bartender because we got the Madam Queen signature drink that's going to be showing up really, really soon. So Madam Queen is here to stay. She's a
Awesome.
bad, she's a
I
bad,
I
bad
told
girl.
you she's a bad
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
in a
she is.
good way.
Oh
In a
yeah,
good
yeah.
in a good way. All right, Chris. Any final words that you would like to share with the audience?
Man, listen, I need you guys to go and follow me on Instagram. That's Chris Crain at Chris Crain One. I'm always posting, sharing things. Of course, find me on YouTube at Mr. Chris Crane One. And if you follow me, I'll follow you. Reach out to me, shoot me a message. I'll communicate back and forth with you as long as it ain't crazy. Um, but I like to interact with the people that support my music. You can also find more information about all of my music. Again, I do jazz, I do blues, I do all kinds of stuff. But you can find that on my website at chriscrane1music.com. Again, that's chriscrane1music.com.
Chris, thank you so much for sharing this evening. As you know, our show is dedicated tonight in the memory of Andre Lee II, who was
Yes.
murdered on Sunday by his grandfather. He is not a relative of mine, but he is a relative of my son and my daughter. And
Yeah.
I am definitely a friend of the family still. So we would like for everyone to take a moment and try to support this family. Any words that you would like to share?
It's unfortunate that we lose lives to murder. And at some point, we have to figure out how to take our community back and share more messages of love and support, because it's tragic. It's unfortunate, and to lose. I have little kids. You know, I have a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 23-year-old. But it's to lose. I couldn't imagine. And so my prayers and thoughts are with the family.
Yes.
And I have I have zero tolerance for people who harm children.
Yes, I am a CASA, a court appointed special advocate. And
Yeah.
so it touches me to the core because, like I said, I'm not a relative, but I am a friend, and I'm familiar with the young man. And it's just he's such a brilliant young man. And it's just so sad and so unfortunate that this has happened to this family. So definitely condolences and prayers. We send hugs, and
Yes.
definitely will be supporting the family as much as we possibly can during this time of sorrow. Chris, thank you so much for sharing. And like I said, we are going to exit this evening with Madam Queen. So take care and keep playing beautiful music and writing and composing music that inspires others. Please continue to share your music with us here at Streets 989 Atlanta, and
Definitely.
share the interview with your network so that we can make sure that everyone gets to know a little bit more about Chris. I know you're doing a lot of interviews at this time, and hey, and that's how you're going to get your music out there. So we
Yeah.
salute you and thank you again for sharing this evening.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'm going to say good night for now.
Good night.
Bye bye now. All right, guys, that was Chris Crain. He stopped by to share his life and career as a singer, songwriter, producer. He's a multi-facet musician. So, guys, make sure that you support him and go out and get some of this fabulous music. As I said, the show tonight is dedicated to Andre Smith II. May he rest in peace. We would definitely miss your charming personality. I'm going to get out of here tonight with Chris Crain. He's coming up with Madam Queen. Until then, continue to stream what you love here on Streets 989 Atlanta TV. Thank you for joining me tonight for Atlanta's Jazz, Soul, and Blues. I'm your host, the First Lady. Until then, keep God first in your life.
You make me feel like do say on a Sunday morning, oh Lord, ebony and ivory, sweet melody in harmony. Sometimes I can be crazy, spreading my love all around. And you make me fall in love again every time you are around. Madam Queen, you're my world. Pretty eyes just drive me crazy. You're a star, yes you are. I'm gonna love you. Hey, I remember when I first let you in. No real intention, just really good friends. Baby, something happened that changed my mind. Girl, you found your way in my heart to stay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I you. Oh, I'm gonna love you. Hey. Oh, I don't believe in fairy tales, but this one thing